And then all of a sudden everything changes in chapter 40. It's like you go from the blasting heat of a desert all of a sudden to a cool Hawaiian evening mist, the trade winds. In chapter 40 begins with the words, "Comfort, comfort ye my people. Speak tenderly to Jerusalem, says my Lord." And the whole rest of the book is this beautiful promise of the coming Messiah and the reign of righteousness and peace and hope that he would bring. But it's like a symphony of messianic prophecies. And it comes to a crescendo in chapter 53. But then again, it takes a really amazing turn. Because this Messiah will usher in a time of unlimited, wonderful peace. He won't do it. He won't establish it with power. He will establish it by his own suffering. 700 years before the crucifixion, God gives Isaiah a glimpse of the cross. And this is what he writes. The servant is a reference to Jesus. "See, my servant will act wisely. He will be raised and lifted up and highly exalted. Just as there were many who were appalled at him, his appearance was so disfigured beyond that of any man, and his form marred beyond human likeness, so will he sprinkle many nations, and kings will shut their mouths because of him. For what they were not told, they will see, and what they have not heard, they will understand. Who has believed our message? And to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? He grew up before him like a tender shoot and like a root out of dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and familiar with suffering. Like one from whom men hide their faces, he was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he took up our infirmities and carried our sorrows. Yet we considered him stricken by God, smitten by him, and afflicted. But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon him, and by his wounds we are healed. We all like sheep have gone astray. Each of us has turned to his own way. And the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is silent, so he did not open his mouth. By oppression and judgment he was taken away. And who can speak of his descendants? For he was cut off from the land of the living. For the transgression of my people he was stricken. He was assigned a grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, though he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it was the Lord's will to crush him and cause him to suffer. And though the Lord makes his life a guilt offering, he will see his offspring and prolong his days. The will of the Lord will prosper in his hand. After the suffering of his soul, he will see the light of life and be satisfied. By his knowledge, my righteous servant will justify many, and he will bear their iniquities. Therefore, I will give him a portion among the great, and he will divide the spoils with the strong, because he poured out his life unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors. For he bore the sin of many and made intercession for the transgressor. Let's now sing together hymn 119, Were You There?
Were you there when
this evening, in the film that we're about to see, the events of the crucifixion are portrayed in almost overwhelming realness. In fact, when this movie came out, some people accused the producer of the film of exaggerating the violence. However, historians tell us very, very clearly that there's no exaggeration at all, that this is in fact the way the Romans crucified people at the time of Jesus. We just sang the song, "Were You There?" And I think that tonight we're going to get about as close to being there as we can to this event that took place 2,000 years ago. We sang the words. Sometimes it makes me tremble, and I think we will all tremble tonight as we watch the scenes of the crucifixion. But more important than trembling is asking the question, why?